Listen to the word of the Lord. What do I have planned for September? What about Israel? What I'm about to tell you, says the Spirit, is not only for the land of Israel and the people of Israel, but this is for you, says the Lord. The tide is turning for Israel. The tide is turning for you. What speak I of, says the Lord? A very strange thing shall happen in September. Moving into the fall, where there shall be a great fall. Fall of the enemies, fall of kings, fall of princes. I shall do a strange thing in Egypt again. For even as David met an Egyptian who was the son of a Amalekite, who had been rejected because he was sick, David was about to go and take back what was stolen from him. David and his men were tired, and they came to an Egyptian, fed him, and he revealed to them where the enemy was. I shall use Egypt again. Yes, for those who are insulted because Egypt was fed bread, and Egypt was fed by David, an Egyptian. And many have said, why do you help Egypt? But God says, for a season, I will reveal a strange thing. Some of those who have been enemies of Israel shall suddenly turn and change their tune for a season. And I will restore, and I will deliver, and I will bring friendship for a season. And many of the enemies that now stand shall be non-existent, says the Spirit of God. It shall take 2 years. 2 years. But watch how I bless Israel. Watch how the rain comes to America. Watch how the rain comes to my kingdom. Watch and see. For God says, beginning in September, I will turn everything around, and my people shall see an intervention of a kind that they have never seen before, says the Lord.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Welcome back. All right, let's go through some information here. Got some information for you. Today was a great news day, so let's look at what we have. All right, so one of our followers, Richard Clark, he says, I'm sorry, I strongly disagree, but he disagrees in his theory that he feels Iraq is a sovereign nation. So, and he feels that's why they're, that Iraq's met right now is meeting with the Trump administration. So, Richard, let's just look at the basics here. The definition of sovereignty, okay, is a self-governing state. Okay, that would be a country that governs themselves. Right now, the U.S. does not govern Iraq. We're coaching Iraq, and we have handcuffs on them, preventing them from going international, but we do not govern them, okay? All we do we're providing guidance, we're helping them, assisting them, we are coaching them, okay? But we are not governing them. They govern themselves, they form their own government, they manage their own affairs. Right now they're even making international moves. Again, they're doing their own thing. We are not governing them, okay? Now, so Richard, you sent me an article earlier today in reference to what you were, what your thoughts are, how you feel Iraq is not a sovereign state. But I want to share with you, this article that you sent me is an opinion. Okay, it says right here, opinion US. Okay, I've highlighted it blue in the kind of in the top middle there. It says opinion US. So what you did was you sent me an opinion article. Okay, and then I highlighted the key part as to why you thought that Iraq is not. So when we look at the green part, it says another group, Sovereignty Alliance for Iraq, the SAI, was established recently to bring together splinter groups into one cohesive movement to remove foreign powers in order to regain sovereignty. But remember, this is just an opinion, okay? I actually found a very amazing article for you, Richard, from 2000. I highlighted the date on it. It's right here from 2004, June 29th of 2004. I highlighted some key points, and it explains to you why Iraq is a sovereign nation, and it shows you they do that the U.S. turned over the governing portion of Iraq back to the country itself. Okay, it says in the green highlights, it says American officials transferred sovereignty to Iraq, to the Iraqi interim government at 10:26 a.m. But again, this was from 2004. Okay, so it says as of 2004, the U.S. had transferred sovereignty back to Iraq's interim government. So they're telling you here that Iraq actually had sovereignty even with an interim government. It says President Bush declared that the world witnessed the arrival of a free and sovereign Iraqi government. What makes Iraq a sovereign nation? The United States has relinquished legal control over some of Iraq's political affairs. As of yesterday, the interim Iraqi government gained authority over all of the nation's ministries as well as the administration of the day-to-day proceedings. So, sorry, Richard, the article you sent me was just an opinion, okay? And this article very clearly shows you that even as of 2004, the U.S. is not governing the country of Iraq. They are coaching and guiding the country of Iraq. Okay, we're not governing them. We are just coaching and guiding, helping and assisting Iraq. Okay, and the only thing we have over them right now is just handcuffs, preventing them from going international. As I've stressed to you, they must achieve stability to go international. But again, we are not governing them. So, Richard, as you see, Iraq is very clearly, per the definition of a sovereign nation and per this article, it is very clear Iraq is a sovereign nation. Okay? Just wanted to help you and show that to you. All right, let's talk about the meeting, guys, because the meeting and everything that's transpired due to Iraq being in the U.S., guys, everything that's happened is exactly as I told you, which is awesome. So let's get into this, okay? It says KRG officials, and here's what I wanted to show you. KRG officials will accompany Kademi on visit to Washington officials. So as you guys have noticed, kind of since the weekend, Kurdistan and Baghdad have been reaching partial agreements so far. Okay, here's more proof because Kurdistan actually they accompanied Kademi on his visit to Washington, which is awesome. Okay, so as you see, and as I've told you, based on some certain variables, like right now, how the U.S. is already making moves to raise the price of precious metals to transition the U.S. dollar to become asset-backed. And remember, the Iraq dinar is an asset to the U.S. dollar as of now, okay, per Basel III. So what I'm showing you here is they're not telling you everything. They're hiding a lot from you. In my opinion, they are farther along than what they are telling you, okay? So that's what's going on. I firmly believe they're much farther along than what they're telling us. They can't tell us everything, and they also have to leave. They have to be careful how much information they release to inform us as the investors, okay? They have to. I really believe like some of the news you're seeing, like this right here, okay, or some of these other news talking about Kurdistan, Baghdad, I believe some of it is probably a few weeks old, okay? So this one I don't think is a few weeks old. I think this one's current because obviously they all went to Washington together, and that's right now this week. So, but for the most part, based on actions, how they're preparing to launch a budget or get a budget approved in September for the remainder of 2020, how they're raising the price of precious metals, that kind of thing. I really believe I believe Kurdistan and Baghdad most likely already have that agreement in place, because otherwise they would not be making the moves you're seeing. The moves that they're making strongly reveal they are preparing to change the rate. And what I stressed to you guys about this meeting with Iraq and Washington is that in this meeting, this meeting has nothing to do with the rate change. In fact, what I stressed to you was this is more of a post rate change meeting, almost like a future meeting to prepare and get everything positioned for after the rate change, okay? But I just wanted to show you here how Kurdistan did go with Kademi, which is Baghdad, to Washington. And that just goes to show you that they don't have large differences as they might try to portray. All right, let's look at the next article. Okay, again right here, GE signs power agreements right there. That's showing you Iraq is international, guys. They're signing international agreements with international companies, okay? So right there, Iraq's making international moves. U.S. companies to unveil Iraq investments during the Iraqi PM visit on Thursday, okay? Again, more international steps from Iraq. Okay, here's some tweets. Steve Mnuchin from the U.S. government, he tweeted, let's look at this, guys, because this confirms exactly what I had told you about the meeting. It says, good meeting with Iraq Prime Minister Kademi. We discussed that the U.S.-Iraq strategic dialogue and efforts to secure a more stable and prosperous future for Iraq. Right there, they're telling you stable and prosperous future. What did I tell you? I told you these meetings were post-rate change. That's the future. They're telling you stable and prosperous future for even they're telling you future. Boom. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Stable and prosperous future for Iraq. Look at that. Steve Mnuchin confirmed exactly what I told you. That's pretty cool, huh? So let's look at the next article. I believe it's a tweet. Another Steve Mnuchin. So in this one, he's talking about, I look forward to working together to advance economic security and stability. So as you guys see, that is the last article. Okay. And let's look at the details of this. So they've discussed economic security, stability. One of the other things that they would have been discussing this is how long the U.S. troops, because obviously we're scaling down troops in Iraq. So they were going to discuss how long we're going to have a large military presence in Iraq. Okay. And remember back on January 10th when Laura Ingraham interviewed Donald Trump. One of the things Trump said is, hey, we have 35 billion US dollars of Iraq's money. Okay. What they're saying there is 35 billion US dollars actually converts, if you do the currency conversion, that actually is 40 trillion Iraq dinar. Okay. So yes, Iraq has paid us for the services we've provided for them. But remember, in that interview, Trump said, we will not leave or exit Iraq until we get paid. Yes, we have received the dinar, as Trump told you we've received the dinar, but the dinar has no value. It is worthless. Okay, so technically we have not been paid till the dinar revalues. So again, in this meeting, that's one of the things they were discussing is the troops. Removing the troops, okay, or really scaling them down, closing down maybe all but one and or two bases. We would definitely have a base probably around Baghdad. We may have a secondary one within the Kurdistan region, okay? We probably would not have more than two, though, after we've scaled down. But anyway, that was one of the items they were going to talk about was scaling down the U.S. military presence there. But again, Trump made it very clear, we are not removing our troops until we've been paid, which really theoretically means we're not pulling the troops until Iraq has revalued the currency and it has value. Because we've already been paid in dinar. It just doesn't have value. So until it has value, we have not been paid. So there you guys go. They very clearly confirmed exactly what I told you was in this meeting right here in this tweet by Steve Mnuchin, where he says a stable and prosperous future. That's what I was trying to convey to you guys, is that this meeting had everything to do. It's all post-rate change. And really with this meeting, the main reason they had this meeting is because this meeting confirms to us that Iraq has met all their benchmarks to be able to change that rate. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. I really believe Kurdistan and Baghdad are much farther along with the progress than they're telling you. Okay, and I also, in my strongest opinion, I don't feel they're going to show you or reveal to us that completion of that agreement between Kurdistan and Baghdad until September. Okay, they can't reveal too much to us too fast. Okay. So, and as you guys know, the end of September is red hot. Hey, you guys are awesome. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful evening and take care.